A plan for this evening.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you, Chris. Should have warned you for that. There's no fire alarm plan for tonight. So if it does go off, it is for real. And we've got 2 fire exits, which is one just near the door here. Outside on your left-hand side on your right-hand side is the assembly point outside. If you require BSL or you know somebody who requires BSL, please raise your hand in the venue. We've got Irina here to do the BSL. Online, does anyone require BSL? Okay. So we have a room team. So if you need anything, we've got Consumer, Mary at the back. We've got Barbara and the rest of the team as well. We've also got some facilitators on the table. If you raise your hands, facilitators, they'll guide you through the discussions in the activity side. And we've also got some experts from some of the services. So if you want to test your ideas and get some guidance from them. So they're experts, if you could put your hands up. Brilliant. So we've got some for health and well-being, youth empowerment and environment today. And we've got Kevin online from Highways as well. Okay, so today, listen to each other, be respectful. You don't have to agree. Share what comes to mind and enjoy being part of shaping Manor Park neighborhood. You must be asking, if you've not been to People Power Places event, is what is People Power Places? So this was known previously as community assemblies. It gives residents the chance to make positive change together in the local area. So we are one of the largest participatory budgeting program in the country, and we should be really proud of that, what we achieved here in Newham. Newham has 8 community neighbourhoods, and Manor Park is one of those. So each neighbourhood is allocated £200,000 funding to spend on local projects done by you, the local people, in the next 2 years. Anyone who lives, works, learns in Manor Park can take part. So you must ask, where does this money come from? The new community infrastructure level, NCIL. So NCIL is a charge on a new development to help fund strategic neighbourhood infrastructure in Newham. And what are the criteria for the NCIL funding projects? So number 1, projects that help with the development and growth of the area. Number 2, projects that improve our public spaces and infrastructure. And number 3, projects that improve health and happiness of the local community. So we'll come on to the next slide, and this slide just gives you just a bit more details on how that diagram of the chart of the 2-year cycle. So step 1 in May did on the local priorities for Manor Park. Step 2, you're here today to discuss solutions to improve those areas, coming up with ideas on what projects could benefit Manor Park itself. Step 3, you come up with project proposals to receive funding, and residents could apply up to £5,000. And if you're a VCFS, voluntary community faith sector organisations, you could apply up to £20,000. Step 4, you vote for your favourite project. That's online and on paper. Step 5, successful projects are delivered by residents and local organisations, for some with the support of a Newham Council. And step 6 is to celebrate and come back to look at celebration and the achievements. This is a diagram. You must, if you came to the last assembly, and you'll start seeing this diagram a number of times. It's just to show you the 2-year cycle on how we are. We're currently at the June-July Art Solution event. Then we'll go to the Let's Vote event in October. And then the successful projects will be announced in November. And then year 2 April 2024 to March 2025 is the implementation, delivery, and learning on projects that have been delivered in Manor Park. So why we're here today? So three main objectives of today is to generate ideas to address local priorities chosen by residents, test ideas with experts, turn ideas into project proposals that could be funded by the People Power Places funding. So activity one and two will be broad ideas to address priorities that'll then focus that could be turned into projects. And then activity two, which showing activity three on the PowerPoint, will be your chance to ask experts that could be turned into feasible projects. Our community neighbourhood, Manor Park, it has 3 wards. So just hands up, who knows what ward they're from? Who's from Manor Park? A good number. From Little Ilford? Okay. Plasher? Okay. Is there representation? So these are our councillors. Just go back to the next previous slide. How many people have attended the People Power Places event previously, or attended any of the cycles in the last year? Okay. And who's his first time coming here today? Okay, it's a mixture. There's some number of new faces. Excellent. Brilliant. Okay. Thank you very much. So these are your councillors for the 3 wards for Manor Park, Little Ilford and Plasher. And we've got, I can see 2 councillors in person here at the moment. But Councillor Dawood, do you just want to come up and say a few words? And Councillor Bailey?
I think I've been to so many of these that you're probably fed up of hearing the same introduction. But hi everyone, I'm Mariam, I'm from Manor Park Ward, I'm one of the local councillors. And I'm here with Councillor Jennifer Bailey, who's also from Manor Park Ward. I'll be staying back after the meeting in case you want to talk about anything I can support with.
I am Councillor Bailey. I'm Manor Park resident as well, and I'm pleased to see a lot of you here. Thank you.
Councillor Zubair just walked in, so yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for late. I'm Councillor Zubair Gulam from Pleasure Board. We want to listen to you for how we can, this budget, we can in the ward-wise how to improve. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, councillors. Any councillors online?
Can't see anyone.
No? Okay, thank you very much. So me and Chris will keep doing this, and I always blame him if things go wrong. So anything goes wrong, blame him. Okay, so just introduce you to Jason Strellis, our Director for Public Health, and he's our CMT lead, just to come and say a few words.
Thanks very much. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. So yeah, I'm Jason. I'm the Corporate Director of Adults in Health, and part of that is being the Director of Public Health for Newham, and all of the corporate leads in the borough connected to different parts of the borough. So this is my patch, and I'm really looking forward to this evening. I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but I think this is my favourite part of the process. Because it's the really creative night. It's the night we hear everyone's ideas, and some of you would have come with something in your head, already an idea, and some people through the discussions, something will come to you that you think would make a really positive difference. So really looking forward to the discussions and hearing all of the ideas, and great to be here. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Jason. Okay, meet our working group, and this is all residents, made up of residents in all 3 ward areas, and it's also got a few of our councillors onto the working group and officers who play a vital role in this cycle, in monitoring the projects, scoring the projects, And it is great to see so many applications, so much interest that there were for people to be on the working group. And we've got 22, if I'm correct, that we've got on for Manor Park. And these are all names on here. But I just want to just say a few words from 3 of our working group members, and the one's really nervous, but just to come and say a few words, guys. Pauline, Laura, and Vivian. Just give them a round of applause, guys. You want to go first? Yeah? Just stand here.
Yeah, my name's Vivian and I lived in Manor Park all my life. I've volunteered to be on the working group because I've been very good at standing at my street corner saying what's wrong and right with Manor Park and with Little Ilford. And sometimes you've got to stand up, and I thought this would be a positive way for me to contribute to my community.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Pauline. Oh, don't be nervous. Just stand here.
Yeah. It was, why did I want to join the group? Well, pretty much like the lady said just now, I've lived in Manor Park for 14 years and I love it here. It's I've lived all over and this is the best place. I've been the happiest I've been. And I'd like to see changes. I like to help people. I like to see people have nice things around them. And yeah, that's about all I can say at the moment, but a bit nervous, but I'll get there.
Well done, Pauline. Okay. Just also, we've got other working group members here as well. So other working group members, just stand up. And so everyone can see you guys and just applaud these guys. Yeah. And we've got Claire as well on our working group online. Any other? No? Okay. Okay. Let me bring down Kulsuma. So she's going to do the next bit. We meant to do a duet, but it's not going according to plan.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight. So I'm going to talk about our priorities. So in the last event, you all voted for the 3 top priorities, which were health and well-being, youth empowerment, and environment and public spaces. So hopefully some of the ideas you generate. So you'll see on your tables, you've got little labels on there. So you've got youth empowerment, environment, public spaces, health and well-being. So all the ideas you generate today will be related to one of those priorities. Okay. So we've got health and well-being. Okay. So one of the key facts are people in Newham have poorer health outcomes than the population overall. 17 out of 20 residents are moderately to completely satisfied with their life nowadays. Newham has also worse healthy life expectancy than London and England for men and women, the number of years in which people are in good health. So health and well-being includes, but is not limited to, improving health and social care, okay? Tackling health and inequalities, responding to the cost of living crisis, life expectancy and aging well, loneliness, isolation, and mental health, okay? So start thinking about ideas relating to those areas, okay? These are some of the top projects that took place in the past or in the previous cycles. So we've got Mealy's Social Club. The budget for that was £5,000, and the idea of the project was basically activities for young adults over 18 with learning disability and mental health to develop social skills and build friendship. Okay. And then we've got Connect in Nature.
Budget for that was £3,040. The whole idea for the project was to support a support network for women to come to a safe place to meet, talk, and exercise, improving well-being, mental and physical health, and decreasing isolation. And then we also had a project called Generation East London, and the budget for that was £13,070. It's basically it's BSL storytelling for children, deaf awareness training, and self-defense for classes for women. And our project lead Irene is here today for that project. And then we've got other projects from around the world. Got the Good Gym, basically is organizing runs, walks, and cycles to help local community organizations and isolated older people by doing practical tasks. And we had befriending as well, which is connecting people in the community to relieve isolation and loneliness. And the Heart Movement Bus, which is a free, accessible, and mobile community space for people to experience the benefits of mindfulness and compassion practices. Okay. Youth empowerment, our second priority. Some more key facts here. So Newham has the second youngest age profile of any borough in London, over 9 in 10 aged under 65. Through the Young People's Charter, young people in Newham identified priorities most important to them: change, creativity, relationships, community, health, diversity, keeping a safe, independent environment, quality, privacy. Youth empowerment includes enabling all children and young people to reach their potential, be safe, happy, healthy, regardless of their background. Youth safety, very important nowadays. Activities for children and young people, play, school readiness, and high quality childcare. Okay. So some of the projects that were delivered in the previous cycle. So we had Youth Football Club, which was football sessions and special events encouraging youth to become more physically active and socialize. We also had the multi-use games area at Beckton Globe, which was an area at the back of Beckton Globe Youth Zone. And it was outdoor space for young people who used the youth zone to play sports and games. And we also had Voices Through the Wind, which is a Rago Zulu Nation's 5 weeks creative writing course, enabled young children between ages of 8 and 13 to express their voices through creative writing. And then we've got other projects also around the world. We've got Play Streets, temporary road closures to allow children, young people, and adults to play in the street. Sounds great. Then we had youth theatres, empowering young people to build confidence through theatre. And last one, Power Up, an arts and skills development project for young women in Islington at risk of becoming involved in criminal activity. So all very worthwhile projects. And third and final, which is environment public spaces. Some of the key facts: air pollution in Newham is worse than anywhere else in London. Less than half of Newham residents have access to a car. The borough is a thorough route for commuter traffic. Newham has a relatively high median energy efficiency score at 75, higher than the London and England average. Around 9 in 10 residents also use Newham's parks at least once a year. And environment public spaces includes making neighborhoods quieter, safer, and cleaner, and responding to the climate emergency. Improve public spaces, including parks, community gardens, and green spaces. Cleaner environment, including reducing fly tipping and air pollution. Some of the previous projects. So we had Welcome to the Channel Sea, which was improving the Channel Sea River area with workshops, a welcome archway, and a green propulsion. And we had signposts and trails to playgrounds, which was to enhance awareness of playgrounds by way of colourful signposts at key junctures and painted trails which led from nearby businesses. Planet Youth, which is a youth and environment workshop to encourage upcycling. And just a couple of projects around the world, orchestra in the park, and then we had music play equipment. So these are just to help you generate some ideas. There are some other samples as well on your tables, so please do have a look and start thinking about some ideas and what you can apply for, okay?
Thank you, Kalsuma. Give her a round of applause. She was nervous. So just as Consumer, went through the priorities and some ideas from the previous cycles across the borough on some of the projects, and also around the world and things. But we've had from previous cycles. Just want to ask two of our projects to come up and just talk about what their projects did, the experience that they had as well. But Rosie from E12 Garden. Yeah, please. It's not. It's just an idea somewhere else that we're just providing ideas for you. That's not a new. Didn't fund that. Okay. Sorry, Rosie.
Is there another slide?
Yeah, we'll.
Oh, okay.
We'll think of that.
Oh, yeah. So just to say, it's not E12. The name of the garden is Manor Park Community Garden, just to be clear, because obviously there's more than one E12 in this area. That's very important. So yeah, I just wanted to just totally summarise what we've done over the last couple of years. Does everyone knows Manor Park Community Garden? Can we have hands of who's heard of it? And who's been? Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people voted for us back in 2021, so that was really great. The community garden was always there, but this was just a sort of a slight tweak, given that we had a bit of money and there was a chance to kind of reinvigorate it. And 20 grand you can do quite a lot with, obviously. So there are people here tonight who were involved in the construction of the garden. So if any of you've come, it's really transformed. There's lots of incredible, raised beds that have all been designed by, the community here. So there's professionals in their own work, in their own way. Yeah, we got charity status pretty quickly again, because people put some hard work in to sort of try and make that happen. Lots and lots of volunteer help that made that possible as well. And yeah, if you go to the garden now, it is really magical. And there's a lot of people here, I think, who will be able to say how nice it is. So I can see a few regular volunteers in the audience. So it's a really beautiful space and it's yours to use. So if you haven't been already, come along. It's accessible, most days now, so 9 to 4 during the week and also at the weekends, where you can learn about gardening as well. I'll simplify. Okay. And we've done quite a few events. We try to obviously do a variety of different things in the garden. So putting on like nutritional workshops, nature walks, kids workshops. We had 2 massive events recently. So there was one at the King's coronation weekend where we had some great things. I can't think off my top of my head. What was it called? Anyway, and then we also had a festival just very recently at the end of June, and that saw some Bollywood dancing and again more workshops for kids and some really great chance to do some art and some craft activities in the garden whilst thinking about nature and that connection with plants, which is really lovely. The top tips I think are a bit too detailed for tonight. I think it's all about ideas. So a lot of that I put in as sort of like what I've learned as sort of the coordinator, as part of the gardener and, as a volunteer. So I think that's for when you start, or once you've got your project and you're starting to run with it. But if anyone here wants to, know a little bit more, do come up to myself or any of the other gardeners here. We'd be very happy to go into more detail. But tonight is all about ideas and there's so many cool things you can do. And I'm really excited to explore how we can work together to continue to make Manor Park a much more wonderful place to live. It's right next to the post office at Manor Park. So literally 2 minutes from the station, the Elizabeth Line station, and you just go past the post office and it's literally there. Yeah, really, really close and open most of the time.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Nick. And Nick was a previous project as well, in a resident application.
Yeah. So I got £5,000 a couple of years ago. I don't know if there's a slide just to show. So it was really just seeing a patch of land just on Station Road. There's a bit of pavement there that's quite deep, just on the way up to the station, and it felt like there was an opportunity there to do something, you know, a great place for a market. So initially the funding was to actually just get the funding to buy the equipment for a market. And then the council was saying, well, actually, if you want the money, we need to make sure that the market's going to run. So that sort of changed it quite a bit into turning, you know, how are we going to actually run the market, and doing the research involved in what costs might be associated with that. So the money that we did get went towards insurances that we needed. We needed public liability insurance, as well as there was printing, websites, as well as buying gazebos and the tables. And the aim with it was really to try and promote local businesses. So all the traders were, I mean, almost all of the traders were Newham residents, and a lot of them were Manor Park residents as well. And so we didn't charge for a stand. So the aim was to really try and promote local businesses and some of their work. And we were really lucky with either. We did it a couple of months, or every couple of months over spring, summer, towards Christmas. And yeah, every time we had great weather. It was a really good day, just people coming down, people stopping on the street who, you know, maybe wouldn't be stopping and chatting. So it was a really good way of just getting to meet people. And we had other volunteers helping set the markets up on the day as well. And then otherwise, yeah, the council were really helpful and supportive and kind of trying to direct what we needed to do. So the different members of the team all along the way were really, really good to talk to. So yeah, I mean, we'll be probably having another couple of events later on this year. We're on Instagram. Probably not quite as many events this year as we had last year, but again, we'll be looking for local businesses with a name for creative or food businesses as well. So we've kind of tried to mix it up every time. So yeah, thanks, Council.
Thank you very much, Nick. That just gives you a little flavour of projects that happened previous cycle. So when you are looking to put a application in, just before we go to the next bit, just put your hands up if you already got an idea, and you've come here today just to kind of test it. How many? Any hands up? Any project leads come here? Okay, we got. All right. Okay, we've got a few ideas. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so as always, you must be bored of listening to my voice. So we're going to get into the discussion bit on your tables. And this is activity one. We've got facilitators there to explain, but it's just to, you know, what ideas could help address the priorities at your table. So you may be on one of the tables, health and well-being, environment, or youth empowerment. Write down as many ideas as possible on the post-it note. So whatever comes to mind, it doesn't have to be too much in detail. It could just be an idea that you have. Just write that down, give it to the facilitator. They'll put it onto the flip chart paper. And online, discuss, 3 to 4 ideas from the list of all the post-it notes that you could really, what projects could be funded by People Power Places, and you'll be able to do that online as well. Just some questions, just some prompts as well. Is this idea addressing one or more of the priorities? Is this idea innovative? Has it been done before? And does this idea sound realistic? Just to have a little conversation around that in your next bit of it as well. And I'll come back to you when we get to the next activity. Okay. Welcome back. Right. A lot of conversations going on, a lot of good noise happening on each table. I think we'll go around. First, I hope you picked a volunteer to give a minute feedback from the discussions on your table. We'll start with Joey's. Stand up.
Okay. Okay, our table has 2 ideas. I'm Ulrike, maybe many know me at least from this area. I run the martial arts classes here as well. As you can see, I'm in uniform today outside. Maybe when you're coming here, you could see us training. One idea is well, at the moment the title is Little Ilford Fun and Safe, and to run different things for children once a month or whatever time in Little Ilford Park, just fun exercise classes depending on their age development, maybe involving the parents. What can you do? What kind of fun games you can do with kids? This is one idea. The other idea then is for maybe for all year 6 girls, boys as well, running in the local schools, self-defense courses, making them fit, feeling safer here in the area. I know quite a lot of women and girls do not feel too safe. Yeah, work together with them. Maybe for teenagers, then to do some kind of short-term sparring courses, ending up in a tournament, increasing self-confidence, getting forward to that. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. It's a rough idea.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Luke. The idea that I was talking about with the table here was called Manor Park Square, and it's an idea that encompasses, I think, a few of the different ideas here. So it's sort of public realm, and there's a space that I would quite like to convert from car parking to space for people and the community to hang out in. Much like the community garden has done, planting can have a huge impact on the public spaces and making people want to spend time and meet neighbours. As well, the youth aspect, there could be youth involvement with the design and the build, coming away with new skills from that too, as well as somewhere that the community can meet in the middle of Manor Park. Just because Manor Park has so many cars, I think that sort of dominates the main streets. So it's trying to claim part of that street and try and get sort of people back at the heart of it.
Thank you, Nick.
Park the cars somewhere else. I think it's a shame when the high street is dominated by cars, and I think it's important. People shouldn't be driving to their high street to use their shops. So I think if we can, it's looking about prioritizing people's interactions with those streets. I think that's. Oh, I think it's, do people want to spend time on streets when there's just cars around? I think it's, I think there's different aspects of it to explore.
So we could have a discussion on that. Thank you very much. We'll go to feedback online as well. Amelie.
Yeah, we've got Alice who's going to feedback for the room.
Hi everyone. The idea that I brought to the group was we would love to run a weekly parent and toddler group for 0 to 3s who have got additional needs and their parents. So bringing together local parents of children who have got disabilities, having a safe place where they can play with sensory toys and specialist equipment, and also a place for parents to meet, connect, reduce isolation and loneliness and get together in that shared space. So create lots of friendships, hopefully connections. And we'd like to call it hopeful starts, so that people can have a really positive start to their life when they're first here with us. And we'd also like it to be a place where parents can have time to relax. So perhaps people coming in and doing massage for parents. Another lovely group that does it in North London, they have a local florist who donates flowers every week for parents to take home. And also working with local professionals, so having speech and language therapists come in, occupational therapists come in and have special kind of meetings with those professionals as well. So that was the idea that I brought.
Thank you very much, Alice.
Thank you. We had a couple more ideas from the group as well. One was intergenerational workshops at Jack Cornwell Community Centre, and another one was green gyms in the park.
Thank you, Emily. Right, next table. Anna.
Hi, our table was discussing youth empowerment. We talked about some of the problems that this area has. So we had a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old on our table, and they said Manor Park just doesn't seem like the place for them. They'd rather be somewhere else, anywhere else rather than here. So we talked about how we could address that. So one of the things we talked about was having an event, something to attract all the youth here so that we could tell them about the events that are going on. We already have like martial arts classes, Diane mentioned. but having other progressive classes, so things like art classes, craft classes, something regular where the children can come or youth can come and have progression, make a final piece, have something that they're proud of and continue with that, even have different levels in that. And we also talked about mentoring as well. One of the ladies on our group, she talked about the fact that there's a lot of stuff that goes on here. Newham is known for a lot of very terrible things that go on here that a lot of parents might not know about and might not know how to address. And also the fact that the youth might not want to talk to their parents or their family about this. So we talked about having a mentoring scheme, but we mainly were trying to address how we'd get the youth attracted to find out about that. They're not going to go to the library and pick up the Newham mag. They're not going to check the Newham website. So we're talking about having like an event that would really attract them, something that's giving something for them to come to, and then they would find out about other activities that are available, like mentoring for them.
Brilliant. Nazir table.
So I will be speaking for my
Yes,
table
sure,
because they've nominated me. So we have a very interesting table. I'll come to this corner so you guys can see the screen as well. So we spoke about a few things. Everyone has ideas. We talked about having something for youth offenders, to how do we prevent the youth from joining gangs or getting into crime in the first place. We heard some good news story previously about gardening projects happening in the local borough. And one of the concerns the parents raised around this table was how their kids aren't in touch with nature. So we live in a concrete jungle, and our kids are afraid of bees and wasps, ladybirds and spiders, especially me. And one of the things we thought was it would be great to have a youth gardening project. So where the youth take control over the gardening areas and they will grow stuff. They see the progress week in, week out of some effort they put in something, and hopefully that will give them some level of discipline. We then want to use that as a hook to get them into the music clubs, to get them into the karate clubs, to give them after school education, especially if they're studying GCSE. So at the moment, I think my table is a big fan of this youth gardening project, and we want £20,000 for it.
Right. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. It's great ideas on that. Sadia's.
Hello, everyone. My name's Angharad, and full disclosure, I don't live in Newham, but I am one of the architects that are responsible for the renovation on the centre here. So I've come along tonight to speak about something we want to do in the outside space, in the growing in the garden. Essentially, we are looking at expanding the growing plots, allowing more people to grow vegetables. We understand that there's not a lot of access, especially for people who don't have balconies or growing spaces to grow fruit and veg, and we've already got an amazing group of people who are using that space. We've got maybe 6 families already, and I've spoken to countless others that are also looking for more growing spaces. But for listening to what you're saying is that it also needs to be a place for workshops and for learning and for young people. So thinking about how we can expand the infrastructure outside to include spaces for that stuff to happen. And potentially there's some also kind of boring bits like access through a pedestrianised gate. Watering system doesn't really work at the moment. And so it's going to be rolled into, hopefully, with support of this room, part of the bigger renovation of the centre. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think there's a link as well. We're on the 20 grand. Okay. Alison,
good evening, everybody. My name is Shireen, and our table, we were discussing a weight management program, and we like the weight management program to be included with the money management. With the cost of living crisis, we'll also like to include healthy cooking and healthy eating and avoid the chicken and chip shops. We also like to add in our program physical activity, education, and well-being exercises. So for example, like we like to include exercise classes, laughter yoga, for your mental well-being as well. So we're looking at health, and we included everybody in our project. Also, we like to include people with complex needs, and a lot of times people with complex needs are not included, and we like to include them as well. Also, we like to deliver workshops and just motivate, encourage, and be positive and give everybody positive ideas and share people's ideas.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Job roles table. It might be job role talking, I think. Oh.
Hello, I've got 3 projects. 2 of them are in Little Ilford Park. So we got a jogging track in Little Ilford Park, and we get a lot of ponding during heavy rain. So we need to make up levels in the park around the jogging track. That's one. And then we got existing toilets in Little Ilford Park, which are close for good 20 years, I think. And ladies and gents both find very difficult, in this Little Ilford Park. So that has to be open, maintained by the Parks Department and renovated. And the third is the fitness classes that we used to have in this hall for ladies and gents. It was a mixed classes. But now they're not taking place now. So obviously we need funding for that and continue those classes again. So that's 3 mini projects I've identified.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I think,
okay, thank you.
Great ideas. I mean, come and chat to one of our teams about what activity was running here and things, so we could have a discussion a bit more in detail on that. Yeah. Lucky.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes. My name is
Introduce
Chandra.
yourself, yeah.
This for the Birdsworth GP Center clinic, actually, we are talking about. We got a garden there at the moment with the 12,000 patients, and their patients their health is our prime importance. And our learned colleague, they are doing for the young people. We are doing for young people and old people in our center. Those who with the disability, mental health, any sort of illness, they can come to the GP clinic. Now you know that GP clinic getting appointment is a big problem. So to get the problem away, they can come to the garden center and then they can be passive. So at the end of the day, they will be happy and we will be happy. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think there was another project idea as well.
Hi, my name is Fahad Hussain. I'm a Newham resident, and I was thinking, I've had previous mental health issues, and I was blind for 5 years. I got my eyesight back, and I've went to open a boxing and fitness sessions weekly for other disabled people who have other health issues, and we can relate. We can help each other overcome the barriers they face in life and keep them healthier in the future, so they end up less in hospital and going to the GP. So it's a place where we get together and live a healthy lifestyle.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Samantha's table.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, so we looked at quite a few really good ideas, and we came across this one, which we thought we'd just sort of talk about. And it's about dancing for health. It's dancing, ballroom and Latin sort of dancing, which includes like salsa, foxtrot, waltz, and it would actually support various people in the community, like the elderly, the young people, children, disabled, and also women-only groups and domestic violence groups. There's, we go for domestic violence, so support different groups as well. We talked about the cost, which would be including things like venue costs, teachers, refreshments and equipment, and also whether or not we had to have a plan in place that would be obviously meet deadlines and prioritise certain various goals. Also, we talked about looking at venues and the availability of times and dates that suits the community and what would sort of benefit them as well, and also the benefits of learning to dance would obviously help with mental health issues, dementia, reduce stress and weight management, and also increase the well-being and mobility.
Thank you very much. And one table, oh, another idea on the same table.
I'm a bit shy, but I'll go up my comfort zone for a second. So we've got another idea here called, I've called it Media Links. And it's to link up all youth with the elderly to come together and limit antisocial activity with the younger generation. So to engage more with coming together to make videos and more media stuff, rather than them being on their phones and being distracted and very antisocial with their behavior. They can also come together to talk with each other, engage in conversations, and have, I guess, make friends or be social. With the funding, I've thought about it as well. It may be achievable, as you could use modern technology to capture videos, create videos with the modernized apps and stuff they have today. And all we just probably need is just to make sure we can get every person engaged on the same idea, pretty much by either advertising or by just getting the word out to the other people to get together and try to get them to engage on this idea, I guess.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Our table had a number of ideas, and I won't double up on the ones that they've had already, but we've got a healthy baking workshop, we've got photography emotional workshop, youth arts project for the local area, community vegetable plot, empowering youth via mental health workshops, photography workshops for women, parenting skills for young ones, outdoor games for boys, a Manor Park diversity event to bring together different nationalities, youth stopping crime workshop, self-confidence, mental health for women, minority, disabled groups. Also, there was a CCTV down here, but I'm not sure how to explain that one. A new parenting program for new parents, adults and families, community place, and active travel and derelict spaces, and also Titarium workshops for those who don't have gardens. They can build mini gardens at home or learn how to make them. The two that came up, one was to do a youth club program that would focus on gang affiliation and knife crime. Did you want to say a bit more on that? Okay. And the second one was a youth arts project, and it would be inclusive of boys and girls. It would be inclusive of all disabilities. It would need no level of expertise. And basically the idea would be to create art classes that could possibly go into schools to get large numbers of children, to develop art that could be attached to road signs all over Newham, because there's lots of schools in this area, lots of children, lots of roads. And then when we thought about, once we've done the workshops via the art and put the funding there, to get the signage up within the community, we said we could go in via corporate responsibility, so that we could get Newham's workforce to put them up for us. And that would encourage things like, it would improve the aesthetics of the community. Art is therapeutic for them, builds confidence and self-esteem, it allows for self-expression, builds a sense of social responsibility, can be extended into exhibitions and award evenings. The art can be auctioned off to fund more arts and craft classes. It's a great opportunity for media exposure for Manor Park, a great mere photo opportunity. And yes, it covers well-being, environment, public spaces, youth empowerment, company development and participation. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. A lot of ideas. I think there's an extra idea on the, oh, okay. Okay, we also had a hidden table in the other room, and Aisha has been translating to a group of women in the back room as well. But if you've got your ideas,
I'll
Aisha,
let
just
the
feedback.
ladies give the ideas and I'll try and translate it.
Oh, yeah,
So,
brilliant.
Fitness class. They chose on 3 different projects. So the first one is outings for health and well-being. So they've got a group of women who'd like to do the project, like go out in picnics or parks, or maybe a different place like beaches for their own health and mental health being. And also they chose a social group that would take place at JCC, or maybe in the parks. They have a women's social group together to come and meet up every week and just talk about different things or their own health and just to socialize. Some people are isolated, so they just want to have a group of people. And I think some of the sessions would include maybe healthy eating, expert workshops, or like health talks on diabetes or other health problems. And the last one they chose was fitness classes. They already do attend fitness classes, but they would like a women's only fitness class, which will run at JCC or maybe some other venue which is nearby. Okay, yeah, those are the 3 things that they
Oh, brilliant.
talked about.
Thank you very much, Aisha. And thank you for translating in that room. That was our 11 tables there. That's a good amount of people that were here today. So we blame Chris for this bit. Next slide. Okay. So just some information about how to apply, some great ideas, some great suggestions. It's about kind of you guys putting those bids in. The applications are now open. They opened June 20th, and the application shuts on 3rd of September. Speak to the neighborhood teams if you're having trouble accessing the website in any way. I know we've got the deadline for 3rd of September, but please, don't leave it too late in sending your application. Maybe September the 2nd at 3:59. It's better if you get in early, and if you've missed any parts of your application, we could come back to you to give you that flexibility before you kind of put it in. After September the 3rd, you won't have that flexibility at all. There's we've got a number of support clinics run centrally and locally as well. For some of you, it may be your first time putting in an application bid. You don't know what that's like, what information to kind of put in. So you got these support clinics. There's one tomorrow, how to submit a project application if you're a resident, and if you put in a resident application for £5,000. All these are online, so it's not going into a specific building or anywhere. It's just going through it online on there. It's tomorrow, Thursday 13th, between 6 and 7:30. And the one on the 20th of July is the biggest bit when we all put in applications. It's understanding what we put into the budget, what can we put in, what not to put in. So it's just to look at what your project is and how to cost your project. And that's on Thursday 20th July 6 to 7:30. And then on the 24th of July, again at 6 to 7:30, is how to do a consultation. And this is really important. If you have an idea or your project's going to be need some permission, for example, if it needs consulting with other residents, it gives you ideas on how to do that. And it's a really important process of your application to kind of do that. So this will give you information on what to do, on tips around that. We held a session for for projects application for voluntary community faith sector organizations on the 27th of June, just 2 weeks ago, I think. And this session is recorded, so you could, if you are VCFS and you missed this, you could go onto YouTube and watch that at your own leisure to kind of do that. And Manor Park as well, Kulsuma and I will be busy as well. So every Wednesdays, you could come into Manor Park Library, tell us about your idea. We could go through your idea, the application and things. So we'll be there every Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We'll be here at Jack Cornwell Community Centre from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if these dates and days and times are not suitable for you, then just drop us an email. Just drop Kulsuma an email, and we'll set up a separate one-to-one, either online or in person. And that's our team for Manor Park Community Neighbourhood Team. That's my details and my email. There's also Mary Patel. Mary's there, happy as ever. And that's her email. And then obviously with Kulsuma, our senior officer for Manor Park. Okay. Just a closing remarks, and then we'll have some project updates as well, just to think about. Before we do that, it's Councillor Charlene McLean.
Hello, brilliant. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. There were some really great discussions online, and it really helped me to reinforce exactly how important these sessions are. There were people with some fantastic ideas. They bounced ideas together, and some projects are coming forward. So I'm looking forward to seeing what projects are submitted in the neighbourhood. I just wanted to take this opportunity just to thank the officers for everyone coming tonight, those of you in the room and those of us that are online. It's great that it's hybrid so that, it's more accessible to everybody. I also liked the idea or the fact that there were young people that were contributing. I mean, if youth empowerment is a topic area, we really do need to hear the voices of our young people. And also that there was the group of ladies that were, it was being translated to them. So it's really is inclusive, people whose English isn't their first language are still part of our community and are still been able to participate, which is fantastic. And finally, just thank you also to the working group members. So I know that a lot of time and effort goes into supporting this process. So just thank you so much for that. Don't forget, get your project ideas in. Tell your friends and your neighbours to get involved in this, because it's such an important part of being involved in your local community. So I'll leave it there for now, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McLean. Councillor Dawood, I know you had a project, just to give an update on that.
Thanks. Okay, this isn't a project funded by community assemblies, but I actually run an organisation called the Politics School. And one of the things that, what we do is we teach children and young people about politics and support them in making change that they want to see. So we run a project with local councillors like Councillor Bailey and Councillor Zubair here in Manor Park, for children in Manor Park. So if you have children or grandchildren, or children in the neighbourhood who are between the ages of around 10 and 15 that want to get involved, our programmes are entirely free. They run at the local library. This summer we'll take a group of children to Parliament as well, and we'll teach them about politics. They'll meet the members of Parliament, they'll meet the local mayor, and they'll be able to run a campaign that they agree on. So last year, actually, the children ran a campaign on lots of amazing environmental initiatives. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to plant more trees in the neighbourhood. And I'm saying this because I know some of you mentioned this in your ideas, and they've actually spent their years planting trees themselves in Manor Park. So I think this is maybe something you could take back. If there are children who want to get involved, please contact me. I'll be here. I'm happy to share my email. And hopefully I'll see you as part of that. So families, entire families can go. Sorry? It's August the 5th and August the 7th this year. One day is in the library and one day is in Parliament. And after the Parliament session, we will have a final meal together where we discuss our next steps. So it depends on the campaigns and the issues that the children are raising. We plan the rest of the summer and the rest of the year accordingly. Oh, thank you. I just thought I'd mention that because some of you seem really excited to do stuff around youth empowerment and the environment. So, okay, great. So yeah, we're happy to share experiences from last year's session as well. It's okay? Great.
Thank you very much, Councillor. And if I could come to the Parliament as well for the lunch. If I, okay, put my name down. Okay, thank you very much. Naz, from our housing engagement team. And I know they've got a number of initiatives and projects.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name's Naz. If you haven't met me, you will very soon. I will be at your doorstep in the next couple of months. So one of the things I want to announce is on the 26th of July, we're holding a community event in Warrior Square. There will be posters out onto your blocks. I will be letter dropping individual posters to your letterbox, hopefully. But on the 26th of July, there's an event happening in Warrior Square. Bring your kids along, bring the whole family along. There'll be food, dance, mehndi, you name it, everything out there for the children and the older guys as well. Just another thing, we're holding a Tenants and Residents Association meeting tomorrow in this community centre between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. You would have received some invitations from myself. So if you live in the immediate Warrior Square, so the 3 tower blocks here, Warrior Square and Dessingham Avenue, you would have received letters from me. Please, if you can make it just for 1 hour, please make your way here tomorrow between 6 to 7 and we can discuss how to establish one. This estate is very big, so I've split this estate into 3 different groups. So if you live in Walton Road or Grantham Road, you should be receiving further invitations either tomorrow morning or later part of the week for another meeting next week here to establish the second Tenants and Residents Association. And if you're all the way in Gainsborough Avenue, you will be receiving some more letters for a 3rd session. I can't see you all together in this hall because I'm hoping there will be such a turnout that I can't accommodate everyone. So I've split into 3 different groups. Hopefully we'll establish that. If you haven't heard from me, first time you've met me, you're interested in establishing a Tenants and Residents Association, please come and see me after this event. I will hang around to meet you guys. There are many benefits to Tenants and Residents Association, specifically to do with the local authority and the services you're getting on the ground. If you're not happy with it, come together collectively as a community and start holding the council accountable. And we also can tap into further fundings, not just Zach's money that he's offering on the screen. There's more money available externally, and that's something we can tap into as a Tenants and Residents Association. Please, if you get a moment, come and say hello to me. If I'm talking to someone else, I'll make my way around to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, mate. I loved it when he was talking about the event on the 26th. He said Mendy and he kept looking at me. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, come to the fun day on the 26th, just outside the Warrior Square here. 12 till 5. Sam, you got one? Yeah, just the last one. Yeah.
Hello everyone. I've just been informed by a resident that this event will be happening soon. So Age UK is holding an event for MPs in Parliament to discuss the state of health and care for older people. So they are looking to recruit more people to come along and also get their local councillors, their MPs involved. So if you would like further information, just please come over to me and I can share that information with you.
Thank you very much. So that comes to an end to our event. Just want to say a massive thank you for everyone coming down. We've got massive numbers. I'm shocked by that. You know, the amount of people that's come out today has been fantastic. You know, this is just the first stage to just test your ideas. It's just for you. If you didn't have an idea and you come today, so okay, maybe we could do a project like this. You know, put your applications in. If you're still unsure and you want to talk to anyone, come and speak to myself, there's consumer and the rest of the team to kind of do that. But, you know, we look forward to your ideas. Applications again are open till the 3rd of September. So we've got a longer time period this time and stuff. Oh, yes. Thank you, Anna. And on your table, there's feedback forms. Facilitators, if you could let everyone, it's important that you do the feedback. It gives us how we design it, how well we do it, and how we could kind of improve. And just lastly, you know, just thanking yourself and everyone online, just saying thank you to them. And if you could all wave, and thank you to the facilitators as well. And also our facilitators on the tables, experts, and Irina as well. I mean, her arms must be hurting her. But thank you very much, and our room team. Thank you all, and speak to you all soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you very much.